Good, happy Tuesday evening, November 9, 2021. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Tuesday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, Sununu says he will seek re-election as governor, not for U.S. Senate. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Are you ready for a better driving job? DDA Transport is hiring full part-time and seasonal CDLA drivers to deliver U.S. mail throughout the Northeast. Top hourly pay and benefits. Home daily with no-touch single-stop deliveries. Apply at ddacompanies.com.
I'm going to run for a fourth term, and I'd be honored if the people of New Hampshire would elect me again as their governor.
Governor Chris Sununu is saying thanks, but no thanks to a campaign for the U.S. Senate. In a one-on-one interview with News 9, he said being one of 100 legislators wouldn't fit with his style or brand of leadership.
I'm very particular about that because these are the ABCs of me. I want to connect with people as Chris Sununu and what I'm trying to bring in terms of leadership. When you have all these other influences come in, that gets diluted a little bit. And so that in itself wasn't incredibly attractive to me.
Sununu indicated the seeds of this decision, which came as a surprise to some, may have been sown more than 30 years ago when his father served in the first Bush administration.
There's no doubt that spending some time in Washington for a few years at an early age, in a time when there was a lot more getting done, but still, I guess I saw the underside of it a little bit, and just the constant politics and how that really, Washington can be a bubble that folks get trapped in.
With former U.S. Senators Scott Brown and Kelly Ayotte both telling News 9 they will not run for Senate in 2022, incumbent Senator Maggie Hassan has now dodged 3 possible big-name opponents in one day.
Our races in New Hampshire are always tough because we're an independent place, and people expect the candidates to come out and talk to them about what's important to them, what they've delivered for them. That's what I will continue to do.
One thing to keep an eye on tonight, Sununu said today he would go to Washington for the right kind of job, perhaps more of a leadership position. He told us in our interview he definitely plans to continue building his profile with Republicans on the national level. Adam Sexton, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. $14 COVID-19 deaths, 5 from earlier this year reported in New Hampshire Monday. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Are you ready for a better driving job? DDA Transport is hiring full part-time and seasonal CDLA drivers to deliver U.S. mail throughout the Northeast. Top hourly pay and benefits. Home daily with no-touch single-stop deliveries. Apply at ddacompanies.com.
Here's a look at the latest coronavirus numbers this evening. There are 14 new deaths to report, including 5 from more than 2 weeks ago. That is the most announced in a single day since January. Active cases fell slightly but remain over 5,000, and hospitalizations have increased to 218.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Attorneys in Zakovsky's trial spare over evidence. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Are you ready for a better driving job? DDA Transport is hiring full part-time and seasonal CDLA drivers to deliver U.S. mail throughout the Northeast. Top hourly pay and benefits. Home daily with no-touch single-stop deliveries. Apply at ddacompanies.com.
Basically, we witnessed a black Ram 2500 with a car hauler trailer come visibly close to us enough to say, whoa, wait a second, that was pretty close.
3 Littleton firefighters called to testify about where they were and what they saw on the day of the Randolph crash. Lieutenant Thomas Hartwell appeared via video from Ohio.
So for a brief moment, that vehicle was, I don't know if you want to say erratic, I don't, but definitely not fully in control. He
Zakovsky's defense team objecting to the state's slate of witnesses who claim they saw Zakovsky driving erratically before the deadly crash. A clear proof hearing prior to the trial to determine if the evidence is admissible, and it got tense at times.
It clearly shows that these folks were. Where are they? Where are we getting a ruling here?
I'm going to hear it all. That's the ruling.
Zakovsky has been in jail for more than 2 years now, despite 3 attempts at convincing the court to issue bail. The defense worked to exclude testimony about Zakovsky's drug use on the day of the crash and revealed plans to argue that the lead motorcycle had a role in the accident.
So you want Dr. Sellers to testify that the intrusion of the lead motorcycle onto the center line by its blood driver with a blood alcohol of 0.135 clearly contributed to the overall accident?
Correct. Jury selection gets underway next Tuesday. Voir dire is expected to focus heavily on media exposure to this case. At COA Superior Court in Lancaster, Amy Cavino, WMUR News.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Pfizer seeks FDA authorization for COVID-19 vaccine boosters for all adults. Pfizer and BioNTech said on Tuesday they're seeking emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration for COVID-19 vaccine boosters for all individuals aged 18 and older. Rochester man imprisoned for role in Nevada standoff returns home. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
DDA Services is hiring full-time diesel and trailer technicians with top hourly wages, available overtime, tool reimbursement, paid holidays, vacation, 401k, company-paid life and disability insurance, and a $1,500 sign-on bonus. Apply at DDAcompanies.com.
2 hours after release from federal prison, Jerry Delemus welcomed home to Rochester with hugs, smiles, and a few tears.
He needs to have folks here to thank him for standing up for what's right.
This man's liberty was taken in defending another man's liberty. And that's how this happened.
Delemus was convicted for inciting and helping lead an armed insurrection in Nevada in April 2014 to stop a roundup of cows from public land near the Bundy Ranch. Behind bars since the FBI raided his Rochester home in 2016. Today, his wife, State Representative Sue Delemus, speaking for him.
You're going to have to take it from me that let me tell you, he is delighted. He hasn't changed, and he's very excited to be home.
Jerry Delemus not able to share any thoughts with us today for a few specific reasons, including concerns about a military-style helicopter in the area of the gathering. Friends who rode with Jerry concerned about that along the way.
We've got people on board the bus that are aware of who that was, and that's all I'm going to say. And so the decision was made primarily because we don't know the parameters of his parole.
But we do need to be very, very careful because, for God's sake, we really don't want him to go back there.
Friends say Delemus had a ministry in prison.
He's still a God-fearing, liberty-minded man, and we are so grateful to have him home.
He'll be the same patriot he was before we went in. I can tell you that.
In Rochester, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News Now.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Money for New Hampshire roads, bridges, internet included in infrastructure bill. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Are you ready for a better driving job? DDA Transport is hiring full part-time and seasonal CDLA drivers to deliver U.S. mail throughout the Northeast. Top hourly pay and benefits. Home daily with no-touch single-stop deliveries. Apply at DDAcompanies.com.
Tom, the Amoskeag Bridge behind me, one of more than 200 in New Hampshire that will be impacted by this new money. Now, today, the New Hampshire congressional delegation came together to talk about some of the improvements that Granite Staters can expect. In all, the bill will bring to New Hampshire more than $1 billion to repair roads and bridges, more than $400 million to improve the state's water infrastructure, and a minimum of $100 million to build out high-speed internet access. Bridges in the Granite State in need of assistance, there are 215 and roughly 700 miles of roadway. Over the next 5 years, $225 million of federal assistance will be designated for bridge repair and replacement. Also included in the bill is a minimum of $100 million for broadband access, bringing high-speed internet to more than 42,000 people in the state that don't have it. There is also money for New Hampshire airports, clean drinking water, and to bolster cyber networks, plus $125 million for public transportation and rail investments.
I think this is the result of the good efforts of so many people, both in the Senate and the House, and people across this country advocating that we need to make these investments in the future of America. And I'm so pleased we were able to get it done.
One thing we've learned from COVID-19, when you pull the curtain back, there were structural inequalities and issues that did not work for modern families.
Now, in terms of which projects get done first, the New Hampshire Department of Transportation Commissioner Victoria Sheehan says the state will update its 10-year plan, and that will help direct where the money goes. Live in Manchester, Jason King, WMUR News.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. Good night and goodbye, everyone.